Hello and welcome to the channel. You are watching Tesla Truths, where we talk about all things Tesla. Today we're going to take another short drive in the Kansas City urban area. We're heading over to Research Medical Center. We're going to take a quick pit stop over at the QuickTrip to pick up a little treat for Mom. We'll be starting FSD from the parking garage here. It should be an interesting little challenge. We're parked pretty closely to this concrete wall on the right here, and we've got a very tight immediate right turn. So I'm actually very curious to see what FSD is going to do here. We are running FSD 13.2.8 in a 2023 Tesla Model X. And with that, let's get on the road. Little hesitation, and we're out, and yep, it did not make that right turn. So let's just let's see what FSD does here. So what we needed to do was take an immediate right-hand turn there. So this is an interesting experiment. I haven't tried this before. This parking garage, I think, goes 3 levels underground. And it looks like FSD is just trying to work it out right now. It doesn't really know where to go. Little hesitation. It finds another wall. So yeah, it's a little wonky in here. I'm just gonna let it go. I wonder if it'll pick up the exit signs. This is a fun experiment, and it'll be a good test to see, what it might look. Oh, all right, it gave up. It's like, hey, not gonna work. So this is what's happening. It looks like it's going to try to back out and go the other way. It's an interesting position it's putting itself in there. It's not going to be able to do that. We'll see what it does. Maybe it just gives up. Or is it going to try to back out and go the other way? So I'm impressed. Now you could argue that it should have just taken the immediate right out of the garage, but it was a super tight turn. I wouldn't let that go under normal circumstances, but what it's done here is it went into the parking garage and was able to determine on its own that it was not going in the right direction for the exit. There is an exit sign up above. There was a little hesitation. It sees it, and it looks like it's going to keep following it around to try to get out of the parking garage. So I'm super impressed. And it increases my confidence as it pertains to FSD's ability to navigate around parking garages. So we're going to keep going here. This is good stuff. A little hesitation as it figures things out. Amazing. It did it. Now, up here, we have a gate to get out. So my hope is that it will see the gate and stop. And the gate will auto raise. And we'll see what happens from there. It stops, lets the gate go. And a little hesitation. But it crawled out. I'm super impressed. I would consider that a successful experiment. It did a great job. All right, we've got overcast skies here in Kansas City today. It is 72 degrees. And we're going to make our way over to QuickTrip here. Impressive. waiting on traffic. There was a little gap there, but it would have been tight. We've got construction going on in the center lane of this road, so it'll need to be a pretty tight right-hand turn here. The oncoming car has a turn signal on. No problem. Nicely navigating around the cones. Wide right-hand swing to avoid the curb. Very happy with everything that just happened there. Good job. Looks like we could have taken the left right there. I'm not sure why FSD chose not to. Okay, all right. It would have taken us to a stop sign here rather than using the light. And it's interesting because the other day I was talking about how I prefer to use lights over stop signs. It's just interesting to see the decisions that FSD makes. I wish I had more insight into the way that worked. Correctly waits for the oncoming car. Very good. We'll let it try to park again. I haven't had much success with this, but it should be pretty easy. We've got a truck coming on in our lane here so that he can park. Very good. Okay. It looks like FSD might try to park in this last parking spot here. We'll see. A little tight, so it's going to back up a little bit and then pull forward back into the parking space here. A little hesitation. Backs up. So I think it could have made it there. It looks like it's abandoning that spot, and I'll let it. I prefer the caution over curb checks. I don't like curb checks. And it looks like we have an open spot here on the end that is not handicap. We should be able to swing in there, and we don't. We do. We're going to park in a handicap spot. No, this is just a mess. So I'm going to take it. We've got too much traffic in here right now. So I'm going to take it. And then we'll just stick it in this spot here. Too many cars, too much going on. Can't put on that kind of a show right now. So another failed parking attempt, but it did give it a good solid try. I can certainly appreciate that. All right, so we've pulled up here to the QuickTrip. I've got to run in and get a little treat for Mom, and we'll be right back and get back on the road. All right, we're done at the QuickTrip. We're going to continue our journey on over to Research Medical Center here. It looks like it's 5.6 miles for about 16 minutes. And with that, let's get on the road. So FSD typically does a pretty good job backing out on its own, but finding parking is still a thing that it struggles with. So I can't wait until the day that I make the video where it just executes parking perfectly all the time. So FSD chose to yield for the car backing out, which is fine. And we'll be on our way. All kinds of just traffic craziness here. Yields again. I might have pushed that, but I don't mind a little courtesy. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not in a hurry. Some hesitation in the parking lot here. And I have seen that. It doesn't matter if we're at a Walmart or anywhere we are. It's cautious and hesitant in parking lot areas. And it can get a little frustrating sometimes. It's slower than I would drive, but then I'm reminded that, you know, you should probably be taking it a little bit more easier in parking lots, right? I mean, you have children and shopping carts and old ladies, and what's it cost me? A minute or two to be a little slower in a parking lot? That was probably the busiest QuickTrip I think I've ever seen in my life. I love QuickTrips. That little gas station just has everything you need. So this intersection is crazy. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 roads coming into this space. I don't know. They've got some weird traffic configurations here in the Kansas City area. 6 intersections, 6 roads coming into that little hub there. And there was no other traffic, so we didn't get to really test the FSD logic there. Stop sign here. Nope. Red light. Rather. Inching up a little bit, but we've got quite a lot of traffic here. All right, we should be clear. Let's bump it down to 72 in the cabin. So another little experiment. I don't know how much you all care to hear about the behind the scenes things. We made a pretty long video from Denton, Texas to Oklahoma City on our way up here to Kansas City. And I don't know, about an hour into the drive, the audio just gets really rough. It really rough. And I'm still not sure what happened. We've been using the Saramonic Blink 500. I think it's called, or 500 Blink, either one. And something happened. So today I thought, well, let's just see what the internal mic on the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 sounds like. And if the audio is good, then I'll just stop hauling around all of that mic equipment with me. Hopefully you can hear me and you are enjoying the ride along today. Making the decision to move over. I like it. gorgeous homes over here in this part of Kansas City. Looks like we've got a roundabout up ahead here in about a half a mile. According to the map, but I think it might be the same fountain that we found last night. And it's not a true roundabout. Well, it's only a roundabout if you're coming from north or south. If you're coming from the other directions, you have stop signs, I think, so not a true roundabout. I don't know. If you're from Kansas City, let me know. I don't know the answer. So yeah, it is the water fountain. This looks really cool at night. It's lit up. And it acts like a roundabout. But here we have a stop sign. We are in a turn-only lane, but we need to go straight. So I think we did that wrong. That guy ran the stop sign, which works for us. I don't know. It's fine. He was like 16 too. Like, he's already starting off on the wrong foot. This is a really pretty street. Just kidding. We're not going to turn. So occasionally we get the phantom white and we get the phantom turn signal. And I just wish that I could see, because when you think about computer programming, something triggers decisions. So it's not like somebody intentionally wrote code that said, hey, every once in a while, for the heck of it, turn on the turn signal or turn on the, windshield wiper. So something's happening somewhere that kind of invokes that decision. So anyway, if you're curious about what's on my mind. Epoxy pipelining, trenchless replacement. You ever wonder how businesses get started? Somebody was sitting around and thought, we should start an epoxy pipelining business. We could do it trenchless. It's gonna be the stuff. Does a great job just recognizing the lights up ahead. We talked about how far the FSD camera can see in a previous video. It's about 800 feet under clear conditions. That's a lot. It's definitely further than what I can see, I'll tell you that. Found my Red Bull Zero. side of the street. So yesterday, I think when I was driving, and I don't know if it was on this street or not, there is an area where there's a little construction, and I don't know, it looks like they've dug out maybe 6 inches or so of the road, so there's a bit of a trench. And the timing of it was that I stopped at the stoplight. Right before that, I was able to see it, and I also saw cars really taking it easy there, being very cautious. So I raised the suspension on the Tesla, and when you do that, it comes up and asks you, do you want to persist until 35 miles per hour? So do you want to keep it raised until you hit 35? The answer was yes. And then it asks if you want to auto save the location. So every time in the future you come to that location, it'll automatically raise the suspension. So if I'm on that same road, we'll get to run that test, right? Will it automatically raise when we get to that intersection? Will it do it fast enough to matter? I will tell you that FSD didn't seem to care about the trench. It did not slow down for it, but it handled it with no problem. And you hear a lot of chatter about FSD not avoiding potholes. And I think, for the most part, I'm pretty okay with that. I feel like if I see something in the road that is alarming enough for me to want to go around, I'll intervene and do it. Because I think about the other side of that scenario, where the car is stopping and dodging and darting every time it sees something that it thinks could potentially be a pothole. And I don't know that will work very well. We'll see. And we will not be going down the road that I was just talking about. So maybe another time. So we are pulling into Research Medical Center. We have a yield sign here and oncoming traffic. Nicely done. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I wonder. But yeah, did a nice job yielding there. Nice job slowing down coming into the parking lot. And I'm just going to take it. We already know it's not going to do what we want it to do. So I'm just going to take it. We're going to mosey through here and find a... Man, this place is always busy. They've got it going on over here. See if we can find a parking spot. I see one. No, I don't. All right. It seems like it's only busy until about lunchtime, though. If you come over here after 12, plenty of parking. Plenty of parking. No dice. Nada. There's another Model X. Hello, Model X. And a Mad Max car or something over there. It's fun. So yeah, no parking yet. Oncology clinic patient parking. Handicap. That is a long pickup truck. I don't think that would be very fun to drive. All right, so there's nothing on that side of the parking lot. Let's go over here and see what we've got going on. Here's one, we'll take it. And you already know, I'm gonna let Tess do the hard work here. Auto park it is. You know, the biggest reason that I do the auto park is I just like the way that it lines it up in the parking spot. FSD does a pretty good job of just putting it dead center. Minimizes door dings. That's why I do it. I'm not lazy. I just love technology. Anyway, that's going to conclude our FSD journey. As always, thank you for riding along, and we'll catch you in the next one.